So our hopes for this project really that we would develop some fantastic partnerships between our creative practitioners and our schools.
We also wanted spaces and viewpoints to be viewed differently in a new way and have a new creative mindset.
Another big part was about developing curriculum as well and using the creative habits to really do that.
Yeah, and we also wanted teachers to feel empowered to develop their own pedagogy and practice in the classroom.
And a really key one was simply to have happier children, young people and teachers, which is so important.
Yeah, to have creativity flowing through all of our schools.
So my name's Kathy and I'm a den builder, but I trained in theatre design and I've always worked in schools and colleges. I'm really interested in changing spaces, especially in classrooms and learning environments. I like to do that with not many materials, although I imagine it looks like I've got a ton of materials. But I like to drastically change a learning space and see what the impact has, not only on the young people that are in that session, but also the teaching staff. So yeah, that's what I get really excited about. So that's the project I've been working in 4 schools around Ellesmere Port. And they've all had different needs and we've done it in different ways. It's been really interesting as a project. We've had different impacts and it's exciting to see how it's different in each one.
So Wonder Classroom came from a powerful partnership between Theatre Porto and Sea Change. And it was inspired by Star of Wonder, which was Theatre Porto's festive show last Christmas, which was in collaboration with Teatro Pomodoro. And it was a wordless visual story, and we've taken that story and it has gone on to inspire Wonder Classrooms and everything within it.
So the Sea Change is the Creativity Collaborative for the North West. We're 11 schools working on innovative and creative pedagogies in the classroom to develop young people's creative habits. So St Bernard's in Ellesmere Port is the lead school, and we already had an amazing partnership with Theatre Porto. When myself and Jess get together, we're always sparking off ideas and thinking, what can we do next? And we knew that we needed to really enable our teachers to develop their creative practice. So the project was run across 4 primary schools in Ellesmere Port. So those schools all had a creative practitioner for 5 days. During that time they could use that creative practitioner however they wished. So some ran staff meetings, whole school CPD, we had observations of the creative practitioner in practice and also some team teaching, and this is a perfect environment for them to develop their creative pedagogies.
Felt like all my joy was at the bottom of my feet and then it rose up onto my head.
The young people have told us that, from their feedback of taking part in the Wonder Classroom project, how much freeing it is. Young people that would kind of sometimes find restrictive or sit back or didn't want to share their ideas have now been empowered to really be involved in the learning in the classroom.
I think the curriculum can be quite rigid and you have to hit certain points throughout every year group. But I think that having classroom spaces like Kathy created, like I said, for short amounts of time, I think will enhance the curriculum, especially for children that find traditional elements of the curriculum quite tasking or they don't particularly enjoy them. Having that ownership of, I'm going to do this now and I've had this idea and my teacher agrees with me, I feel like that really motivates them to want to learn even more, which is definitely something that I'm going to take on board.
It feeds into our brain. So basically it's different environment so we can think differently. So if we're just always trapped in this one room, we'll just be thinking about the same things, but because of this different environment we can think a bit differently.
The opportunities that it's made us consider for our own children and the environment, the teaching environment that we have, it's been great to know what we can do to enhance the learning for our children.
I just saw a totally different side to them, a lot more independent, volunteering themselves, their oracy skills have changed and developed so much, their conversation skills, just being able to work in a group and not fall out with each other as well.
It was easier to concentrate, it was calmer, imaginary. You could really imagine the scenes more. Because when you're in class, there's people fiddling with all different stuff. Whether in the tent, you're just like, you feel fabrics. It's just so much nicer and calmer, and you could just imagine it more and listen to it better.
We're getting towards a point where we're trying to say a lot to schools, right, what problem have you got? What issue do you want to fix? What's something that's niggling away and you're not quite sure how to address it? And can we come in as a professional theatre company and find a way to help you work on that in a way? So we're really aware that schools are under pressure, and we want to try and not be an added extra, but actually to slot in with what's already happening. You're already delivering this wonderfully rich curriculum, and how can we enrich it more?
So I always ask, is there a theme, or is there a book, or is there a process that the teachers are already in within that term? Because I think if I can make connections with what they're already doing, I feel like there's a bit of ownership, a shared ownership in the partnership. So it's not just that I'm coming in, parachuting in and disappearing again.
You know, having a creative practitioner come and work with you is really kind of liberating, empowering. You know, we're talking about a recruitment and retention crisis in teaching, that, you know, teachers are leaving left, right and centre. You know, you want to be able to wake up in the morning and want to go to a job that you love and really, really enjoy it. And, you know, being creative and thinking about the creative habits is an amazing way of doing that.
It was like very calm, and there wasn't that many shouts. There wasn't that much drama. People wasn't getting dojos removed that much. There was lots of dojos. Like, people had up to 50 to 60 dojos because of their creativity, their resilience, their independence, their respect to what's her name? Kathy. And it was really good, and the environment affected our learning really well.
So all our schools across Sea Change have been using the 5 Habits model by Bill Lucas, and we all recognise that those are skills that are really important for the young people to unlock learning. So, for example, being collaborative, being persistent, being disciplined, being imaginative and being inquisitive. And then they're not only things that you need to do in school, but in future life and future employability as well. So what we try to do in schools is we've obviously got a knowledge curriculum to deliver, but alongside that and interwoven through the curriculum, you can teach and develop the young people's creative habits.
No lessons, which was kind of fun.
We were all in surprise when we saw the tent. We were all like,
Really, I think the celebration of wonder moments in learning is, and what I get to see, the privilege I get, is usually children that surprise the teachers with either their behaviour or their engagement because we're doing it differently. So there might be a child that, you know, for example, I've had children that don't usually stay in that space, in that classroom, and then when they've been in a space that I've created would stay in twice as long. I've had examples where the teachers will come out and say it was great, the children will come out and say it was brilliant, we didn't do any work, and the same session the teachers come out and say it was brilliant, they've never written as much. So that's a wonder moment.
all of our joy just went up, and we just all felt so happy, and we all felt we kind of felt creative as well, because as soon as we saw it, we thought that we would be building something related to it, and as soon as we discovered it, we were so happy.
It was imaginary and cool, and we literally couldn't believe what was happening. And at first I was like, are we in the right classroom? Are we supposed to be doing this, or are we supposed to stay in here? It was just shocking because it was so magical. The lights, all different colours and fabrics everywhere. It was just, magical and imaginary.
It was the best day of my life.
It was so fun to just go home and tell all my family members, and because my brother and sister are in high school and my little brother is in reception, he was just like, oh, I wish I could do that, and they were just like really jealous, and it was like one of the best days I've ever had.